Hello, hello, everybody. I am here with another super fun conversation with some women who are in platinum experience. And this is one of our dynamic duos. So you've probably heard us talk about how we've got some teams in there. And this is Morgan and Jules, and they are part of Matriark. And I can't wait for them to share about the work that they do. And it's been so fun because you two came in at different entry points and have done different stuff with us. And I know that Jules, you got to be at the retreat, and that was so fun. And can't wait to have you both at the retreat in 2024. It's going to be amazing. And I just think there's so much magic in having a partner in business. Like myself and Kayla last night were on the phone for 2 hours, like not talking business at all. We were both in our PJs in bed, scrolling Pinterest. There was like moments where I said, "Are you still here?" Like we weren't even talking. But that's just like how deep the biz besties can go, is like just knowing you have somebody who gets it. And I think that's so cool that you two have that. So I want to hand it over to you to introduce yourselves. What is your business? What do you do? And why do you love doing it? And I suppose like you can each answer your perspective on that.
For sure. So I'm Julia. I am one half of Matriark, and I run most of the personal training side of things and a lot of the fitness side of things. I got into personal training because I was a nurse for 6 years, and I knew that nursing wasn't the route that I wanted to. It wasn't the career that I wanted for the rest of my life, but I did enjoy working with individuals and kind of wanted to do it a little bit more on my own terms, but didn't enjoy like the systems that I was working under in that. And wanted to help people with more preventative measures as opposed to like primary and secondary care, which what I was doing with nursing. And I've always been big into fitness for the past 10 years, been in the fitness industry and that, just dabbling in little things and trying all the different stuff out. So decided to take that route and dive full time into it. It was 2 years in September. So
Wow, 2 years already.
mhm.
So
Time
cool.
flies.
Time flies. I forgot that you were a nurse. I totally forgot that because I'm just like, I so see you in this work that you do now. Okay,
when I when I joined the coffee club, I was still nursing.
oh my gosh, right. Wow, time's a trip.
I know.
Yeah, I've never known Julia in her nursing life, so I always forget also.
Oh my gosh, right. Okay, because you guys are you're biz besties also, but you're newer to being biz besties. So Morgan, tell us a little bit about you. What do you bring to the table and why do you love doing it?
Yeah, so my name's Morgan Rosen, and I'm obviously the other half of Matriarch. I am a personal trainer, but I am also a registered holistic nutritionist, and that's like my big passion is helping people with their nutrition habits. So I kind of got into it because I was in competitive sports, and after that, I didn't really know what to do with myself, and I kind of fell into some bad habits and stuff like that, and was having a lot of chronic pain from injuries and stuff from gymnastics, and kind of just felt a little bit lost. So I got into some healthy stuff like training and started doing strength training and saw the need for supporting my nutrition because I had like no knowledge of it whatsoever. Like I never learned anything in gymnastics, which was kind of like shocking to me,
Mm,
but it was just kind of the time. So I just got really passionate about like learning basically everything I could about health and fitness and nutrition, and really found once I started learning more about the nutrition side of things that I was just really, really passionate about that and helping people with their, just general nutrition habits and finding really simple and sustainable ways to reach and maintain their nutrition goals, because many of us can relate to like the diet culture and constantly
mm,
kind of yo-yoing up and down and kind of going for the quick fixes, which I've really tried to, push against and find more sustainable ways to reach my own health goals and help people support them in doing so for themselves as well.
yeah, it's so important. It's the long-term game. It's what we
Yeah.
talk about in business. Like we're not here to give you a get rich quick scheme overnight. It's about like having a business you love that you want to work in for a long time. And I see that you two are passionate about that in health and wellness and fitness and nutrition. So Towards the end of this talk, we are going to talk about where people can find you and direct you to links and stuff. But say right now, somebody is listening. They're like, okay, so I hear that you two help with movement, with fitness, with nutrition. And what does that actually look like? So when somebody lands on your website, what's the work that you are actively doing with people right now?
Yeah. So I think for Morgan can definitely agree with this, but we try to provide like a lot of educational content because the biggest thing is like, especially when I'm working with one-on-one clients and remote coaching clients, I want them to learn as they're going. I don't want it to be like a thing where they're dependent on me all the time.
Mm,
So, they can create like their own fitness, sustainable fitness habits and like what works for them and what doesn't in that. And of course, I'm there to like help support them along the way. But the biggest thing in working with when I take on clients is just providing like a lot of education in all of our sessions. And yeah, like I said, even if that is in person, I try to provide the exact same services for remote coaching, even though, we're not doing our one-to-one sessions together. So yeah, that's kind of the main gist there. So yeah.
Yeah. And to elaborate on that, so if you're kind of going right to our website, you can see that we offer personal training and remote coaching, as Julia said, and also one-to-one nutrition support. So that's kind of like my realm of genius, we'll say. When working with clients, I really try to take a collaborative approach with people and kind of work with them to figure out like what they're currently doing and find realistic ways for them to just like add in or make small adjustments to their current lifestyle. So it's not feeling like a massive switch from what they're already doing.
mm,
Again, coming back to like the point of it being a little bit easier for them to maintain it for when we're not working together anymore. Because like Julia said, we don't want people to rely on us forever. Of course, we
yeah.
love working with people and we love creating those deep connections. But at the end of the day, we want people to feel confident and empowered in their choices and be able to implement that after working with us too.
So
I
good.
kind of I kind of wanted to just add on that. I thought of something too that like I know for Morgan and I too, we try to get away from like the typical fitness industry. So we don't often work with individuals who are, just focused on aesthetic goals. And
Mm,
for myself, like I really enjoy working with people who are rehabbing through injury or pain because in all reality, I think all of my clients have had, experienced some sort of pain in their life or some sort of injury or like those nagging aches and pains that we have, right? So just like getting individuals back into having that physical freedom and focusing on like what we can do in the gym that's going to be able to help serve them outside of the gym so they can live like their best life basically. So that's like also when I was saying the educational content, like it's around that. And we also are looking at like not just what we are doing for that 1 hour in the gym, but what we're doing for the other 24 hours a day as well. So
yeah, it's so important. Okay,
mhm.
I love this. And I know that what we're going to get into talking about before towards the latter half of this conversation is what you've got coming up and how you're going to be working with people long term. That's so exciting. We're going to switch gears a little bit and I've got a couple questions about your experience in platinum. And so you two are fairly new. I believe you joined us back in June.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, June or July. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was June because we had the June accelerator and you were able to be there for
Yes.
that first month.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's been a few months. You've got so much more time with us. It's awesome. We've got so much more time with you. It's awesome. And with the community. I would love to hear from each of you so far. What's been your favorite part?
Ooh. I mean, for me, like honestly, I've loved all of it. I just find it to be such a supportive community between both of you and just everyone else that's in the platinum community. And with Julie and I just recently combining forces, it's been just like so incredibly helpful to have that support and just like bouncing ideas off of you and Kayla and everyone else. And so I just find like just the general vibe and support of everybody has been my favorite part of it. And just being able to touch base like on a weekly basis with everybody.
Mm,
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah. I'd say everything, like I can't really pick out one specific favorite thing really, because I mean, I love all of the calls. The calls are so amazing because you have all the ladies there, right? So like
Mm,
it's so great and I love that aspect of it. But like I was thinking about this morning, that I love also that, you know, if we the resources that are in Kajabi and everything, that everything, like all the content that you and Kayla have created is so good and so great. And it's, even if we, even if something is not in there, if we message you, like you two are on it, and it's so
Yeah.
good. And it's just very supportive in that way, right? So
mm, thank
yeah.
you. Yeah, that is our mission. That's our generator mode going. We're like, oh, okay, let us respond. Somebody needs something, we will make that happen. And of course, with help of Tej, Queen Tej.
Tage,
Yes.
for
Yeah.
sure. She's
So
been so helpful too. And
yeah.
I kind of wanted to just add one more thing. I guess I think I really appreciate how you kind of help different types of people in terms of like having the online educational content for people that like really love that data and that information, and then also having like the mindset piece for people too that are like a little bit more up in their feelings and stuff, where you really want to kind of like dive deeper into that and kind of work through sort of like mental barriers and roadblocks and stuff like that. I've found that really helpful just in like changing my mindset around a lot of things too. So it's been
Mhm.
it's been huge for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. Okay. My next question is, we meet every week and they're different, right? There's Q&A calls, there's mini mastermind calls, there's vortex calls, there's mindset calls, and then there's quarterly accelerators. Out of all of those, what is your favorite and why?
Oh, I love the vortex calls.
Yeah.
Like they're all great again, but like the vortex calls are, I just find that it's nice because it's like that 4 hours of just like focused work, and everyone's just doing their thing, and you're still on Zoom together, so you can still ask questions. Um, yeah, like I feel like I honestly most like I think all the vortex calls I've had, I've gotten so much stuff completed. So
Mm.
that's always like really fun. But I also enjoy the calls where like the Q&A calls are great. So it's like hard to say, like, because like we get so many ideas. Like you,
Mm.
like the call on the mastermind call on Tuesday, like just that, like you just get so many ideas, even if you're not asking the questions, because
Yeah.
yeah, me and Morgan are always messaging during those calls, like, oh, that's so good, we should do that too. Like, you know,
Yes.
so yeah, it's I'm sorry, but it's hard to pick.
Okay. Well, these are great responses. So thank you. How about for yourself, Morgan? Do you have a favorite one?
I mean, I'm kind of on the same page as Julia in that it's really hard for me to pick. And like my answer to most things, I feel like it really depends. It depends on kind of like where my mindset's at, like on a weekly basis, and what I feel like I kind of need. But regardless of that, I feel like I get something out of every single call. So it's really hard for me to pick. But I think the mini masterminds are probably my favorite just because it's like that small group. There's just like so much ideas and support kind of like flowing through that, and everyone's just so open to sharing, and like you can kind of feel like you can ask anything and you're not going
Mm.
to feel judged. So I think those are probably my favorite. And then I guess the vortex calls too, just because I find it hard just with like ADHD and stuff to really focus and sit down and like do stuff on my own sometimes. So having that time to just like focus in and have the accountability to do it is really helpful.
Yeah. And
Mm.
it helps leaving your camera on, because then you know.
Yeah, totally.
It so does. I know. It's like, it's something so simple, yet it works.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question would be for somebody who's sitting on the fence and they're like, oh, a year commitment. I don't know. That's the biggest thing I've ever committed to. Or the financial commitment. That's the biggest thing I've ever invested in. Or I don't know if I would fit in. I don't know if I have enough skills, or am I too advanced or not advanced, or whatever their hesitations might be. What would be one thing you would offer somebody who's like on the fence?
Hmm. I feel like I could answer each one of those like, you know, objections, I guess, in a way. But for For myself, I think the biggest one was the financial one on my side, because I, have been part of the community now for so long. And I think I did biz school 3 times before I joined Platinum.
Mhm.
And so I think that was the biggest thing, because I was like, I want to do Platinum because it's just so, I know how great biz school is and I know how great the community is. But now I'm like, the payment comes out of our account and I'm just like, take my money.
Oh yeah. 100.
Like, I don't even, it's like, I'm so great. I like look at that
Mm,
payment and I'm like, I'm so grateful for you. Like, just expressing gratitude towards it, because it's like, it's worth even more than what we're paying monthly, honestly, in my opinion.
thank you. These are so nice. Thank you.
It's all true though.
Yeah. And it doesn't
Um,
matter where you are in your business. Like, you can benefit it's like why I did biz school 3 times too. Like, every time I
mhm.
did it, there was something new or something different I was working on.
Yeah.
There's all different levels of business. There's
Yeah.
people that are in this 3 years in a row in platinum.
Yeah.
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 Anything you would offer, Morgan, to somebody who's stuck and they're like, I just don't know.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind immediately was just like, just do it.
Just get off the
Yeah.
fence.
Just come
Yeah.
on, just do it. Um, but yeah, I feel like you said it, regardless of where you are in your business, I find like there's just so much variety of people within our group. And I feel like
Mm,
that's intentional and it's always going to be like that. So I think you just get so much value in not only you and Kayla and Tage, her support as well, but just
mhm,
like all of the ideas that everyone is sharing, and just like just like so many different points of view on things can be just like so incredibly valuable. So you're not only paying just for the both of you and like the
mm,
platform information, but you're paying for like insight from like 20 plus other women and business owners too. So I think there's just like an incredibly deep amount of value in that as well.
Yeah.
I've never thought of it that way before, truly. I've never thought of it like, yeah, you're also accessing the knowledge and the network of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So true. Hmm.
Mm, okay, I love
Yeah.
that. Okay, let's hand it back over to you two. I want everybody who watches this, so this will be on YouTube. People will hear it on our podcast. They're going to see it on our socials. They're going to find it on our website. This is basically, we're plastering this everywhere. And so wherever somebody sees this and they hear it or watch it and they find you two, I want people to say like, hey, I'd never heard of you two before. I just learned so much about you. I'm curious about how to work with you. What offers do you have currently and coming up? Because this will be released pretty much in the next day or two and, will exist out in the ethers in the cloud. So, what offers do you currently have? How can people work with you? What are the links? Where can they find you? And what do you have coming up?
Yeah. So I would say the best place to find us is Instagram. We are pretty active on there, and you can always, I mean, if you message us, we always respond. So you can always send us a message on Instagram. Happy to chat there. We also have the link in bio, and you can book in for a free 30-minute consult call. You can book in with both me and Morgan, or myself or Morgan. So that's probably the best way to reach out to us, or if you have questions or anything. And then in terms of working with us, I am currently I have space for like 1 to 2 PT clients in person here in Victoria. And I'm also open and accepting remote coaching clients. So that's the 2 ways to work with myself. I'll hand it off to Morgan.
Okay.
Yeah. And then to work with me right now, my offer is one-to-one nutrition coaching. So I'm focusing solely on that and really, aiming to just like have that really deep connection and collaboration with people individually versus like on a group scale currently. And then some exciting things that we have coming up are our podcast is going to be launching soon.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited. So yeah, that's going to be a great way to kind of like get to know both of us better and kind of what we're all about. And obviously share like lots of education around health, wellness, fitness, all the things. And then coming up in the new year, we're going to be launching a really exciting and awesome year-long program. So it's going to be a full year of accountability, support in like the best ways possible. So we're really excited for that. And we're working out the details, but we'll be announcing all of that soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. What's your Instagram?
At Matriark with a K.
Matriarch with a K. Website?
Matriark.ca.
Yeah.
Okay. Matriarch.ca. Okay. And then answer this question for the people that are listening and they're like, okay, a year investment. Why is working with you two for a year, or I suppose, why do you want to work with people in a year capacity? Why is that time frame important to you two?
I would say the biggest thing that we've kind of discussed, and when I think of the way that the fitness industry kind of is run right now, and like how Morgan had said with like the yo-yo dieting and these like challenges and stuff, it's not what we're about. Like, we want to focus on individuals like building healthy habits and like focusing on their health long term. Like, this isn't like a short term plan for us. Like, as much as it's great to work with the client for like 3 months, a lot of people often need longer than that, and the accountability of it. So that's why we want to do it. We want individuals to commit for a year and see how much. We all know how much can change in a year. So to put that commitment into yourself, and that's like, you're really truly going to be able to see changes and long-term changes that hopefully will just continue on. Yeah.
And to add to that a little bit as well, it's a great opportunity to have support through like all different seasons of life as well. So there's always going to be the ups and downs throughout the year, and having support through those is really beneficial. And it's going to be a great way to kind of like, just support you throughout an entire year, so that you can have support through different times when it's challenging, when it's easy, know what that feels like, so that when you are ready to go out on your own after, you kind of know what to expect and have had that experience in the past with like how to approach it and navigate those things, and still feel like you're able to move forward with your goals is really, really helpful. And I mean, we've obviously just felt that with being in platinum too, just having that support long term is so helpful. So that's definitely a big piece. And then on another note too, is if you consider in the grand scheme of your life, 1 year is such a short amount of time. And if you think of all the habits that you've built in your lifetime up until this point, 3 months is not going to be long enough for you to undo those things or make a really big lasting change. And having support long term is going to be like the best way to navigate those things and really like prepare yourself for like your future years.
Yeah, totally. Okay. I love this so much. So for everybody listening, everything will be linked wherever you find this, the podcast, YouTube, all those places on our website. So Julia, I always call you Jules, and then you introduced yourself as Julia. And then I'm like, should I be calling you Jules?
Jules, Julia, either one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm so familiar with saying Jules. Okay. So Jules and Morgan, Matriarch with a K.ca on Instagram. So many different ways to work with you two, individually, together, collaboratively. And I can't wait for the podcast. The podcast is going to be like informational, educational, sort of style.
Yeah. Yeah.
With some good sass in there too.
Yeah. Some good sauce, some good banter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll see more personalities, I think, come through on the podcast maybe than you see on other platforms sometimes. So yeah.
Okay. I love that. Yes. I've been seeing that with some other people putting podcasts out. I'm like, I feel like I'm really getting to know you. This is so cool. So I can't wait for that with you too as well. Thank you both so much for coming on and sharing today. I so appreciate it. And I can't wait to spend a whole lot more time together.
Yes, me too. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.